Welcome to Chaotically Nerdy, a podcast made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults, for adults, and for children with bad parents. Adult language will be used, and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On this week's episode is me, Tyler.
And me, Jarrett.
And me, Ethan.
Oh, they did it right.
Yeah.
Although
I did think about it.
my little bit of tism is really
we played musical chairs.
Yeah.
Okay, their chairs are changed up a little bit.
It's not even musical chairs. I just switched sides.
And Tyler can't handle it
he
because
bets for the
I'm on
other
his
side now.
left now instead of Jarrett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to always point to my left, and Jarrett would say, I'm Jarrett. And now it's all fuckered up.
It's really not. We're just going counterclockwise.
Yeah, but I don't like it. It's something about counterclockwise. Why are you going backwards?
Or
Time
is-
doesn't go
Have
backwards.
you been
Don't-
tested?
No, but I should be.
You should be. I mean, you could get legitimate help. That'd be good for you.
Oh, legitimate help. There's no legitimate help for him.
You think I'm joking?
No, I know you're not. That's the problem.
How do you feel about textures, like weird, like microfiber cloths?
Yeah,
I don't like 'em.
like them, but I mean,
Well, we'll see. If you give a shit, then you got a problem.
You just feel weird.
I don't care.
I don't.
It doesn't bother me at all.
See-
if you two have it, it's not my problem.
see,
Oh, we can make it your problem.
I'll bring in the biggest microfiber cloth I can.
It's not that I
blanket,
it's not that I avoid them.
but you
Just-
don't
I
like
don't
the texture.
Yeah, like if I'm gonna have to use one, I'm like, this sucks.
True.
It's a good thing you don't have glasses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I just got. That was so fucking loud.
It shouldn't have been.
It sounded like a
That
phone.
it legitimately was buzzing.
It was like,
It's like it activating.
You know what sucks? I have to leave that in now because we talked about it.
did we?
Yeah.
We can give a pause.
Nah, fuck it. So, this week on Trying to Wrangle Idiots, we're going to talk about Fallout Season 1 because it finished. Actually, it didn't finish. It just came out because Amazon decides some shows are worth putting out all at once. And
Fallout
some
never
shows,
finishes. War never changes.
God damn it. I hate you both.
No, you don't.
You're right. I don't. I wouldn't be here if I did.
Is that how it works?
If I hated you both, like legitimately hated you, no, we wouldn't be here.
Bye.
I would have asked other people to be somewhere else.
No, I don't hate you guys.
I hate you guys a little bit. But I hate everybody a little bit. So
I don't want to put that much effort into it.
It's too much work to
It's a
hate
lot
somebody.
it's so much effort. Speaking of not hating things,
Yeah, that's actually a good segue.
There we
go. Yeah.
Let's talk about our experiences with Fallout because we each have different experiences, and I don't know where my dices went. So
I'm assuming they're in the box.
I'm assuming so too, but we didn't use them last time.
We did not.
I don't even remember which ones I used.
you don't need dice for a board like a tabletop game at all. There's none that use it.
We don't play tabletop games in here.
You played Cards Against Humanity.
That's kind of.
That's kind of a tabletop
It's a
game.
card
I guess.
game.
You don't use dice for it.
No, you don't.
I think you
could.
were going to.
See, and now my numbers are all fucked up. Jarrett.
Okay. Because
I almost
I
said
have
you.
played 3, beat it all the way. New Vegas, beat it, and about 10 hours of 4, and didn't like it.
Didn't like it. Interesting.
Well, it's the base building part, like we well established. I don't like base building stuff.
Understand. You don't have to though.
Fallout 4 has an issue. So, yeah.
I have played and beat Fallout 4, and I've played a little bit of 76, probably
Oh yeah, no,
10 to 15 hours, maybe. I don't think I played with you, Ethan, but I don't think I played that much.
Well, it's about the number of hours you need to understand what's going on in the game.
It was also very, very early, like early release.
There's more stuff to do now. There's actually NPCs.
Ooh,
So,
fancy. What's your experience with Fallout?
oh well, I've played 1, 2, 3.
Just say 'em all.
New Vegas,
that's not all
4,
technical.
and 76,
And Fallout Shelter.
And Shelter.
mobile game.
I have played Shelter.
played
I
Shelter.
played that one
Shelter's
too.
not bad.
No, it's a good little time sink.
Yeah, it's definitely a time sink.
So you just haven't played Tactics and Brotherhood of Steel.
Correct.
Pretty much.
Correct. So I couldn't say all of them.
Gotcha.
All the mainline games.
All the mainline games, yes.
And 76.
And 76.
And then next up, notable actors in the show. Specifically for me, Walton Goggins.
It's always.
Why? Yeah. How
is-
could you not mention him first?
He is fucking phenomenal in every single thing he has been in,
I'm aroused just thinking about it.
which is worrisome because of the looks.
What, the ghoul?
Yeah.
Looks ain't anything. It's the personality. It's the vibe.
He does
Yeah.
give off a good vibe. Not a good, I'm going to let you fuck me vibe.
No. No.
I bet he's got some holes somewhere, though.
He's got one in his face.
Not. I don't.
Got him.
Take face fucking to a whole new level.
Also, I blew my mic out on that.
Right in the nose hole. It seems kind of rude.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Also, I don't know that I didn't like Maximus.
You're kind of not supposed to like him.
Yeah,
He's kind
I
of supposed to be a dickhead character, like a shitty
He's
character.
a screwball.
Yeah.
He's a screw up. It's what he's supposed to be.
But
He kind of falls himself falling into success a lot.
yeah, the guy who follows him around, like the squire, the new squire.
Not
I can't remember his name for the life of me.
Titus. No, Titus.
He's
is
not
the-
Titus.
Not the other-
Titus is the
that's the
actual
other
knight.
Maximus.
That
The
Maximus-
bully. The one that was bullying him
Yeah,
at school.
How old do you think that actor is?
he is so fucking old.
Yeah.
Ethan, how old do you think that actor is?
Yeah.
I would say he's late 40s.
Correct. He's 42.
42. Okay. I was going to say 40, mid 40s.
Most people think 25.
Late 40.
Like around
Yeah.
there.
Do you also know what else he's in? That he looks like a child in?
Ant-Man,
I would not. Maybe
21 Jump Street.
21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
So I was watching that a couple weeks ago, and I was like,
Some people look forever like they're young.
yeah.
Johnny Pemberton is his name.
Johnny
And he has a TikTok because as seeing all the Fallout shit, he popped up on mine and he just played himself in this show.
yeah,
Like
he's just
the
that's
way
what
he
is.
talks on his, like, because most of, they're not like skits or anything. He's just,
There's
talking
lots of
about
character
things.
actors like that, though.
Yeah.
So that's perfectly normal.
And then Ella Purnell also did very well as Lucy.
I have a request for season 2. If they do not get Timothy Oliphant to play someone, so I can just have Walton Goggins and Timothy Oliphant interact again on my television screen, because
That was great.
it would be great. Because
What's the actor for not the one who Maximus? What's his name?
Aaron Moten.
Moten. Okay. I could never remember. I could not remember. I don't like the character. Not supposed to like the character, but when he's in the shelter, the Fallout shelter,
It was
hilarious.
It is funny.
It is
for him.
hilarious.
Do you want to make my penis explode now?
hilarious.
The other actor that really did well that I don't think you're really supposed to like, but he had like a huge turnaround was Norm McLean.
I wouldn't say you're not supposed to like him.
He just the way
Maybe like the first episode.
yeah, the way he's like introduced.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be like, this guy's kind of a lazy piece of shit.
Sure, yeah. I can see it like in the first episode or two where he is like that, but then as the season progresses, you're like, oh, Norm's an investigator.
Yeah, basically. Next up, did anybody else get this existential dread from the bombing scene? Like whenever before they actually, like the first bomb hit, with the score and everything else that was going on, I was like,
I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
It was
I mean,
not-
I knew it was going to happen, but it just like,
I knew something was.
Well, the part that really switched over for me is they dropped the one, and then you see, oh, there's another. Oh,
That's the part, yeah. I
and
was
then it's like, oh
ooh.
crap,
Yeah.
there's like 8,
yeah.
and it just keeps going.
They just
you know?
fucking destroyed Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really did. And then there's something else. We weren't going to talk about the games too much, but with 31, 32, and 33 all being connected, were there any that I don't remember? Because I've only played 4. I don't remember any being connected in the game.
There's a bajillion vaults, so there's a chance that Another one was connected, maybe?
I don't remember any specifically offhand. I feel like 3 had one that was connected to another vault. I think there was.
I think 4 did, but I just don't remember.
I can't remember.
Okay.
They kind of run together because they're just vault and then number.
Yeah.
And whatever their experiment was.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Like at this point, it'd be weirder to find a vault that was just one of the control vaults that was just completely normal and nothing weird was going on inside of it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one you always come out of, generally speaking. Or, no, that was the one in 76. So 76 is the only one I can think of that didn't have anything really weird going on, but they only released them like 25 years after the bombs.
So they really didn't even give you really time to...
That's like one generation to like...
Yeah, it's like a generation.
To like fuck around.
The next note that I put is don't pull out knives for medical reasons. Because
That's in like every show and every movie. And
I
it always makes me
know.
mad.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, leave it.
And I always said I would never be that person that's like, I hate stuff for medical reasons, but...
That specific one is like, that's like medical 101.
Yeah, there's 2 that really bother me, and it's pulling out knives with no like medical attention around you, which I guess she did kind of have a first aid kit there,
Yeah.
so you get a little bit of a pass. And then the whole, oh my God, they're dead, let's shock them thing. That eats at me
Yeah.
like no other.
Well, the one that gets me, which happens, I think, once in this show, is needles. Like when they go to inject somebody with something and they push it like all the way down to the bone. They like have this 4-inch long needle and they push it all the way in.
Yep.
That gets me every time because that would fucking hurt.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it would. And it wouldn't do any good because most of that stuff is supposed to be intramuscular.
Yeah.
Or IM.
Yeah.
And if you go to the bone, you're too far.
Just
Although I
dig
will
around in there, yeah.
I've seen a lot of things about the whole Raider experience, and one of the main things was like I seen women freaking out because they're like, when this hot man gets up and rubs his junk on the curtains afterwards, and then they were like, I guess they didn't know about Raiders, the people that were watching it, because they're like, why is this guy who's been living in this vault? Like they were more confused than...
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that whole scene was so strange to me because, like, at first I thought, oh, that's a really weird culty thing, and then, yeah, that guy's not from a vault.
Yeah. I was like, how long? I was
Yeah.
going to ask, how long did it take you guys to realize that they were not? It took for me.
It was about the time of the sex scene.
When he disrobed, and I was like,
I think for me, it was when they were eating, and they were like eating like they hadn't eaten
I was just like, I obviously knew immediately like that, like something weird's going on. Like I just thought they were like that vault had went evil or something. But to me to be like, oh, they're raiders.
Well, see, that part, the eating part, like,
Yeah.
because of all the weird, because I've been through a lot of vault stuff. I've seen a lot of weird things happening in vaults. That's not questionable to me. Just the eating weird. Yeah.
And then this part, it just caught me off guard, so I had to write it down. It was an odd choice as they're panning through the Brotherhood like barracks. You just see a dude beating off.
It was funny.
It was. I was like, "What the?"
that?
That's a totally Fallout thing.
I know
yeah.
it was, but I
Well,
was
that
like,
and
"What?"
then
What?
the other Fallout thing of Lucy fucking her cousin.
Yeah.
That little line they just slipped around. I'm like, did I just hear that right? Like my brain, I'm like half paying attention. I'm like, did I just hear her?
After so many years, it's been 200 years. They're all cousins.
Yeah.
Okay. Even if they're trading between vaults,
Yeah, but
they've
even
got some relation.
But that's the thing too, because especially with like the vaults that we see, they're all coming from Hank and like the select people anyway.
Yeah.
So you
Well,
know that
I
they're
mean-
really cousins.
Well, I mean, like the vaults are supposed to have way more people than you ever see in them.
Yeah.
Right. Because they're supposed to have like 100 to like 300 people in them.
Yeah.
Each, and you only ever see like maybe 20 or 30 or 40. Right. That's just to make it easier because having like a big group of people it's hard to do.
Yeah.
In a show or especially in a game. It's really hard to make like content for all like 100 to 300 people. So, yeah. So if you have questions about that, that's just TV video game bullcrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then next up, the feral ghouls and chickens. I don't remember feral ghouls going, which I don't know if that's a thing in the game or not. Is that a
I
thing
think
in
that's
the
a
lore?
reference back to an older game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
I just assume it's just because they were like alive or something that they were just gonna like eat them.
That's not necessarily true.
I just assume that they're like, oh, like that's
because they're making the most amount of movement, so
Yeah.
they're the easiest noticeable.
It's possible.
I just
kind of like
I didn't
bait.
remember anything about it, so
Yeah.
it was curious. And then we see Maximus and Titus. Who the fuck played Titus? Why can't I-
Michael Rappaport.
Yes, Michael Rappaport, who was fucking hilarious, and I love that I didn't know it was him until
That got spoiled to me that he was Titus before that. Like it was, and I was like, oh,
Who spoiled it?
just no, it's just like on the internet. I just read it like it was like a meme of the scene where he's
like it came out before, and yeah.
but he's
But
dying. He's like, help me, you piece of shit, help me.
yeah, the internet was upset at him for running away from a young guy while in.
That's his whole character.
I know.
Within a power suit?
Yeah.
Okay. If you've ever played a Fallout game, the first power suit you get, it looks really, really cool. And then you find a Yao Guai for the first time and it beats the crap out of you and you go back to your save. Because that's what happens. Because they're usually a early mid tier monster. Like, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Because you're not going to have the guns. You're not going to have the weapons. You're not going to have the skills to handle one. You're not going to have the special points to really handle one. So, no, that totally makes sense. Titus is supposed to be really cool, though. Titus is supposed to be really powerful. And they keep putting aside their guns. That's what
Yeah.
makes me mad.
Yeah, because you really don't see them use guns very often in the power armor. Like,
No.
I think
I wonder if it's like a physical limitation of having like the practical,
big it
the
is.
practical bulky power armor to like,
and to be
So,
able
like-
to adequately like move around to
yeah,
use.
like flip. I don't know. There's just something I thought of like is that maybe is why they don't have. I don't know.
That sounds like a bad excuse.
It does.
It
I
just
can agree with
It
that.
may be true, but it sounds like a bad excuse.
Yeah, I can agree with that. This is the next bullet point. I flipped on the ghoul so fast and then back. Like I was so done with him, and this is specifically related to whenever he stabbed him, didn't he? The dog
Yeah.
either stabbed or shot the dog.
No, he stabbed him.
Stab the dog.
Yeah, and I was like, nope, go fuck yourself. That was the moment I was like, all right, I hate the character. I'm done with him. And then he turned around and healed him like 5 minutes later, and I was like, never mind, he's okay. One person I didn't put on here though was Ma June. Is that her name? How you say her name?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
She absolutely killed it in every scene that she was in.
Oh, the lady
The
at the
old,
shop?
yeah, the old
Yeah.
shop lady.
Yeah. I thought all you motherfuckers were dead.
I got the way she screamed. I got, was it 100 or 1,000
I think it's 1,000. Is it
caps for whoever kills that fucker? Was just so, it was delivered so perfectly.
Yeah.
And then whoever the fuck was working with her was just as funny because it
Yeah.
was just her yelling the whole time.
Well, it was just the two ladies.
Yeah.
And she's just in the back yelling. Yeah, it's good. Well, I mean, the lady and the older lady and the one that takes over for Overseer when Kyle McLaughlin leaves.
Yeah.
Right? What was it? Betty.
That was
Betty? Betty. That's it. I had to look it up. Betty was Leslie Uggams. She did a great job too. So, yeah, I forgot to mention her. You mentioned old lady, and I thought of her first.
I mean, it's worth it.
Yeah. Which, speaking of another old lady, Kyle McLaughlin. We're going to do Dune soon. We're going to cover Dune soon. And he is the original.
Old lady?
No, he was the original main actor for Dune for
Paul Atreides
Paul Atreides.
Gotcha. Didn't know
back
that.
in 1980.
Yeah, he was Lucy's dad.
Yeah. I knew I thought that's who he was, but at the same
Also,
time
was
I was
on
looking
Twin
at it.
Peaks, and
Yeah.
He was on a bunch of shit, wasn't he?
well,
I feel like I've seen him in something else.
mostly he's known for Dune and Twin Peaks.
Dune and Twin Peaks. Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's been in other shit, yeah, but that's mostly what he's known for.
Well, he was on Agents of Shield.
Yeah, where he played a very similar character of Evil Dad.
He played Evil Dad.
I wonder if that's how he got cast.
That's my immediate
Might
thought.
be.
I was like, I don't trust you.
They like to get famous older gentlemen to play the fathers on Fallout all the time,
Yeah,
except for in 4 where you're playing the father.
that's true. Have you seen the thing? And this is going to the game, but it's a tangent that I want to talk about. Have you seen the thing where if you start with like 10 luck points or whatever, you basically come out of the vault and your son's right there?
It's a mod.
I know.
It's not true, but yes,
That's
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Hi, Dad.
What the fuck?
We're going back in.
But back to the show, the gulper. That thing was fucking terrifying.
Oh yeah.
The little fingers in the mouth thing.
Yeah, that was.
Well, it's because they made it with Gulper DNA. Apparently, that's the suggestion. They made it with Gulper DNA, and then they mixed some more human DNA in there, so they created this weird centaur or chimera.
Gotcha.
mix.
Well, we see them
It's
be
not
born.
all. What?
We see them be born.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
But the normal Gulpers in other Fallout games
Not like
and
that.
content, they are not like that. They're more like just large irradiated frogs.
Yeah, it was creepy looking.
It was.
But or axolotls. There's somewhere
That's
between
what,
the
that's
two.
what it looked like.
Definitely.
yeah,
Actually.
it's somewhere between the two.
If
Yeah.
I was to ever waste a fat man, it would have been on that thing
Oh yeah.
in a heartbeat.
Oh, there's far worse things. Gulpers are
No, I know.
yeah,
There's
there's
far worse things. But
mid-
in the show,
mid-tier.
I'm just saying in the show.
Yeah,
That
in
one
the
we've
show so
seen,
far, yeah.
No, sorry. Deuces.
yeah. Wait for the death claw.
Oh, yeah, that one's
Yeah,
good.
we're coming. It's coming.
It's
baby.
coming. Thou shalt get sidetracked by bullshit every time. That was a line by Walton Goggins, and it was so good.
That man is made to deliver quippy one-liners like that. Just like every fucking, he nails it.
Yeah.
He's got a bajillion of them in Justified.
He's got
he'll just say some shit. And you're like, how the fuck do you make that sound?
I've
good?
seen clips from a show called Vice Principals.
Yeah,
that
he's in that with Ice Cube and Charlie. No, that's a different movie. What's he?
This is a TV show.
It's a TV show, yeah.
And the clips that I've seen is him sitting at breakfast
who's in
with
that show with
two Asian women. Like one's supposed to be like his wife or lover. I don't know who they really are. And then the other's like their mother, or her mother, I guess. And he's like, honesty break. And he like tells the younger one something. And then finally he's like, you know what? While we're being fucking honest. And he turns to the old lady and he's like,
is Danny
you look
McBride.
like death warmed over. He's like, I lose my fucking appetite every time I look at you.
God.
It is Danny McBride. I was like, see, he's in it with somebody. He plays. Yep, it's Danny McBride.
Yeah. But he's so good at those.
He's just good in general.
But I thought that line was perfect.
Oh, it's
And it was delivered perfectly by him.
oh, it was so good.
So-
I laughed my ass off.
Because it's very fitting for the
Yeah.
games.
That was- it's like fitting for any video game ever. You're like, oh yeah,
Whenever we get back to Vault, I think it's 33, and the one that came from 32, the blonde chick that lost her eye,
nope. She came from 31.
was it 31?
Yep,
okay.
31.
32 is the
The
leaders.
empty one.
Nope.
32.
31 is the leaders. 32 is the other.
She can't. Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. But
I know that because Norm literally is like looking at where everybody's coming from, and it says that she came from 31. That's why he goes to ask her
gotcha.
like what 31 was like.
But she talks about it whenever he asks her what it's like. She's like, well, the mashed potatoes were better. And then they like show him carrying the plate to the prisoners. And I'm like, no fucking wonder the mashed potatoes are better. You literally just mashed up a potato and said, here you go. No, it didn't look like there was butter, salt, pepper, nothing.
Sean would love it.
Yeah,
Sean
yeah, he
would love
would. Yeah.
Just
No
plain
salt
old potatoes.
eating motherfucker.
If there was ever a time for him to listen to
Oh
an
yeah,
episode,
this will be it.
I hope it's this one.
Yeah, I hope you start using salt
At least.
on your potatoes. Oh,
You should put that shit on everything.
it's
It's salt. It's delicious.
like my gorge is rising. Let's move on.
Did you know that you can, whenever I think it's whenever he shoots the commercial, the Vault Tech number comes up. You can call that number. You call that number, and it just fucking screams.
This isn't the first time Bethesda's done that.
Yeah,
They had another one
Really?
for Vaultec, yeah. It's off now, but I mean,
Yeah. It was apparently because somebody recorded it, a TikTok of it where they called it. And people were confused because the younger generation don't know this. about the numbers and letters because it was like call 1-800
Oh.
Vault Tech or whatever the number was.
Because they didn't have to have like the phone. to
Yeah,
type out your
and they
text
were
message.
like, "How did you get the rest of the numbers?" Is what younger people were asking. They're like, "Do kids really not fucking know how that works?"
Hang on, I gotta
Just
look
remember, don't take the knife out. Stab.
That'd be great.
Yeah. No, it's still on there. I was making sure. I was making sure it was still like
Yeah,
the
it's
letters.
still there. This show,
But they are never using that. They're putting it in a contact. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
this show does ominous so well. Every moment that there's like a spare, some shit's about to happen. It does it like the suspense is there,
Yeah,
and I like it.
it's Fallout.
I mean, yeah,
They did a good job of mimicking that from Fallout. It's really good.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think the snake oil salesman magic elixir is?
You didn't find it in that chicken, I'll tell you that.
That's another thing we forgot. Is Maximus immediate. God damn it. I forgot about that. He breaks up that fight and farmers that he was fucking my chicken.
Oh yeah,
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, this
So
show's gonna be awesome.
So the implication from the show is that it is somehow turning
people into ghouls.
yes.
Yeah.
People into ghouls.
I don't know, is there like a there's not anything in the
I don't
game,
remember anything specifically that turns you into ghouls because we've never had the chance to play a ghoul in the games.
as shown, because you just survive everything.
Yeah.
Or
Nuclear
you
blast
die.
right next to you. Yeah. You just survive.
Or you die and you start back over.
It doesn't matter how many ghouls you eat.
You just never.
You just never get irradiated.
How
it
much
doesn't
irradiated water you drink?
how many
You're just like,
gulper burgers you eat. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like how many fingers. It doesn't matter. Iguana. Yeah, it doesn't count. Yeah, it's not going to irradiate you. Apparently, enough to turn you into a ghoul. You have to have some weird medication to do it. Now, I don't know from any of the games I've played if that's like a thing.
An
in the
actual
games.
thing, yeah.
I don't remember. It might be. There might be some little note somewhere that says something about it, or something on one of the computer logs somewhere that says something about it. I don't know about it. But this is, I think, 9 years after the latest version, the latest game, which is 4.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is 9 years after 4.
15 years after New Vegas.
Vegas,
And
which
then-
is a couple years after 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the latest we've seen of the Fallout world.
Yeah. So they could add something.
They could have
Still.
had something new. Maybe this guy's just a chem freak and
Maybe.
gave him a mutation, because that's a thing in Fallout 76 is that's come up new is these new mutations that are actually beneficial to you instead of like pretty bad. Now you got like other games had like mutations and stuff, and you could figure out how to keep them, like, but they weren't ever really. They were always negative more than they were beneficial.
Yeah.
And they just like you could get like regeneration and stuff like that, but you couldn't. There was no way to really keep it. Not really. But 76 is the latest one that's out.
Yeah. Latest game that they're still updating.
And they have mutations now, and they have little special cards, right, to add to your list, which are special traits for your lucky traits for like starch genes, which keeps you from mutating or losing mutations. So you can actually use that to maintain mutation. I don't want to go into that too much, but the suggestion is they're trying to add in mutations as a positive thing. So this may not even be turned into a goal. It could just be a mutation.
Maybe. Now back to the vaults. Whenever Norm gets into Vault 31 and the whole death Roomba with the brain, which was
Fantastic.
Bud, right?
Yeah.
It was Bud because it was Bud's Buds. It was fucking hilarious. But I had subtitles on.
Yep.
And it was subtitled "Brain on a Roomba" as the like name, and I was like, "That is fucking hilarious."
You know what's really hilarious about this was the Fallout world has robots
Yeah.
specifically made to interact with human brains. So they put human brains in the same sort of system, and they put it on an actual robot with like arms and
So that they
like,
can do
treads,
things.
so they can actually do things. But for some reason, they decided that this guy who's going to be in this vault for 200 years doesn't need arms and legs, and he's just screwed.
Yeah, he needs to be able to pull out one syringe and miss consistently.
What I like when he pulled the syringe out, it squirted out the liquid. I was like, oh god.
That's classic humor, but it's classic Fallout as well, because like something should have been done right, but it's totally not done right, and they just totally screwed it up. It's like when they forgot to ship everybody to one of the vaults outside of one dude. And he's just there alone. Yeah.
And then we go back to the real world for a little bit, and or real world pre-bombing is a better way to say that. Capitalism caused the bombings, which makes more sense than
not actually true, because it is not absolutely said that those bombs that went off or the bombing was started by Vault Tech.
Yeah.
So
Vault Tech was just preparing to drop bombs.
Gotcha.
It's not that what the way I interpret it is that they were never actually going to drop the bombs. What they were going to do is interfere in geopolitical politics and
cause other people
influence the bombs.
I think that's what from what I remember from all the games and stuff about Vault Tech. That's exactly what they were supposed to have done. Now this introduced the idea that they may have had access to dropping those bombs.
Yeah.
Which that's the first time I had ever seen anything about that. Now, it's always been implied that Vault Tech is responsible.
It's like the show says, it's in their financial.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
It's their fiduciary responsibility to encourage a nuclear war.
I mean, there is a vault in West Virginia, supposedly in the universe, that has like the majority of the world's supply of gold. So if they want to establish gold currency,
they can,
or a gold-backed currency,
they're
the ones who are going to have the most of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who trusted them with it. Vault-Tec has it.
Yeah.
The what it is, I don't know if it's explicitly stated, but it is like at least inferred that they did drop bombs on Shady Sands.
Oh yeah,
later on.
Yes, like they're just permanently. They're like resetting any established civilizations that they're like, nope, you're getting too close, you're getting too far. Don't like it.
It's because wasn't Shady Sands like actively against Vault-Tec?
Not entirely. They weren't against the Vault Dwellers at the very least.
It was because Hank's wife left.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons.
And they were also getting a little bit.
But it's really the Enclave who's in charge of most of the nuclear silos that are active within the United States. And the Enclave is the remnants of the American government. Yeah. There's sort of Russia too. But, I mean, so is our government. So. Tinfoil hat.
I wrote this terribly. Because it's not what I mean. I put Hank losing control of Lucy while he is still in the cage was interesting. I don't mean losing control of Lucy. What I meant was he like started slamming the cage and like freaking out because
he started losing control
of his emotions.
Yes.
Wow, yeah. Lucy.
Yes. Because Lucy wasn't
listening to him.
Yeah. Which I guess is technically to him losing control of Lucy too. Also, interesting note, this is just I just seen Lucy's name and it reminded me of it. I didn't realize she said okie dokie so much in the fucking show.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
I posted a TikTok today of all the different times that she says okie dokie. Because it was like, it's a CapCut thing. And I was like, whenever you go to record multiple episodes, because it goes like, and she gets like more sad each time. And so it was like the first okie dokie where she's real peppy was episode 1, like start of 1, start of 2, and just went down. It was good. I liked it. Nobody else did, but I did.
Well, I thought it was good. It speaks to her innocence and naivety.
Absolutely.
So
she does change a lot throughout the show, which is great.
Yeah.
The first time she drops the F-bomb too is after she steals not steals, but takes all the drugs and gives them to the ghoul. Yeah. Right?
I don't think I was paying that much attention.
I think I remember her dropping that and her going, "Golden rule, motherfucker." And I think that was the first time she drops the F-bomb herself.
Maybe.
I could be wrong. And then I wrote this before I looked at anything else. I put, what's the city at the end of that Hank sees? Because as we know, I make these as I'm going, and I didn't know what it was. I've never played New Vegas.
Do you know now?
Yeah, it's New Vegas.
Okay, yeah.
I've never
There
played
was
it.
no doubt that in anyone's mind who's played New Vegas that was New
So I
Vegas.
was like,
Well, and that's
I
the
said, oh,
That's New Vegas.
It's not even that. I kind of like looked at it and I was like, man, that looks familiar. But I couldn't remember it. So before I forgot to even like think about it, I wrote it down and then I remembered it and was like, I'm just leaving it. Because obviously next season we're going to go to New Vegas.
Apparently.
And then how has Moldaver survived this long? We would assume she's been frozen throughout some point of it.
yeah.
I would imagine because she's trying to. It might be that she is getting like cryo froze, and then woken up again, and then she does her little thing for a little bit, and then she gets cryo froze again, and then rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Several times over those 200 years.
That's how it
Alternative
seems.
theory.
Yeah.
She's a synth.
That's a good theory.
That is the other thing I thought of too. Yeah.
That's one thing. Did we see any sense?
Nope.
No.
Okay. I didn't think we did.
No. But they promised us more sense in future content. Not necessarily the show, but in the games, they promised us more sense.
It's very likely that a character we've seen in this show is a synth,
And we just didn't know it.
and we don't know it.
Yeah. Now, this isn't on here because I didn't think of it, but it came up in the Discord, community Discord. Easy to join. Use the link in our bio. Is this the best video game adaptation? TV show, movie, whatever you want to say.
From video game?
Yeah.
I don't consider it a video game adaptation because it's not,
It's
not
not a
adapting.
direct-
Yeah, it's not adapting a story from a video game.
It's
It's
its
just
own story. It's just
set
based.
in a video game universe.
As much as Rings of Power is not a Lord of the Rings sort of title, it's not a Lord of the Rings title. It's a Tolkien universe title. This is a Fallout universe title, not a Fallout.
Yeah.
Not
not
Fallout
a game
title.
adaptation.
Yeah.
So no, that title still belongs.
No
to the
and
last-
yes, I would say.
Like that's where I'm at. I'm very no and yes because I like it better than The Last of Us.
Yes, I do too. But I consider Last of Us a better. It's a more true to the sense of the word adaptation of a video game.
Yeah. I agree.
This is just a video game related property.
But
thing.
I also feel like that's easier to pull off
It
from
is.
The Last of Us because it's a story. Like
It is.
Don't get me wrong, Fallout has a story, but
This is more
it's
impressive.
open world.
This is more impressive.
Yes.
That they made a good video game related thing with no real existing underlying story.
Why do we have to compare them? I could say that there are a lot of them that suck.
Oh yeah. To me, the two that people are talking
But
about.
even Halo is not an adaptation of a video game.
Yeah.
The first season of Halo is not an adaptation from a video game. It's not even an adaptation from a book. It can't be because it's like nothing else from the Halo series because it's nothing in the Halo series.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with it. It's just like this side story thing that we would all like to pretend never happened.
And I do.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never watched it, never will watch it.
Same.
It was garbage. I watched it. I
I
finished it.
Shame on
I
you.
finished it.
Now that we've had two good video game TV shows, that's the talk right now. Is people are comparing the two as
Hey,
far as which one's better.
I'm hoping we can make it 3 for 3 with Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I think they should take note from this because there's been a whole bunch of different shows or movies or whatever. Like Assassin's Creed was terrible.
There was an Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, Michael Fassbender.
The movie with Fassbender. Yeah,
Yeah.
Never
It's
It-
not good.
no, it wasn't even close. There's just been a lot of them, and they should take note that let's not take liberties with the content that already exists, that they already have a fan base for, and stick to the fucking world that already fucking works,
Yeah.
and stop fucking with it. This is a prime example of that. They can write their own story, which they did,
But respect the source
and
material.
respect the source material, and then move on.
They kind of pulled a thing from from the games. I gotta go find my dad.
The studio had to do a good job on this.
Yeah, they did.
They had to. If they didn't, Fallout is much bigger story-wise than Halo is.
Oh, absolutely.
Story-wise, because it is an RPG game.
Yeah.
Halo is not an RPG game. There's some story, but it's not like that.
It's a linear story.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. You can't fuck with that. If you fuck with that, you're done making those movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Done making those shows. So they had to do a good job, and they did. And I hope they fucking learned from it, but I doubt they will.
Oh, I guarantee they didn't.
Yeah.
People never learn. Just like war never
I was
changes.
gonna say war never changes.
War never changes.
Also, to talk about the end with fucking Walton Goggin, the ghoul, just fucking in the dark.
That motherfucker.
Bet y'all feel like some big men in suits of armor. Mm-hmm. That's fucking terrifying and amazing at the same time. And whenever he shoots fucking Hank, now young Henry, do you want another autograph? I'm like, fuck. It's like, you just killed that man without killing that man. Of course it was you. It's always you.
Yeah.
So now on to the ratings. So Fallout is a 93% tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes and an 89% audience score.
Wrong.
They went down
I'm
and up.
looking at it currently.
No, they're wrong.
They're wrong.
It's much higher than 89.
Well, that's
Like 6 points higher.
so you think it's a 95.
I didn't say that.
That's
said
exactly what
6
you.
points
That's
higher.
exactly
That
what
is
you just said.
exactly what you-
I didn't say 95.
that is numerically identical to what you said.
Your
without
father
saying
taught us math. We can add 89 plus
Yeah.
6.
I figured you learned it. I didn't think he would have. I'm
took-
proud of you.
It took me a second, but I got there.
Yeah, you got it.
I was like, carry the one.
Hang out on your fingers. Where do I start with 86? I don't have 80. I don't have 80 fingers.
If I start with 90, because I got to add one, and then that leaves me with 6 minus 1 is 5.
Get to sing a little song.
Just have the fucking goddamn the hangover where he's doing.
Just to do 89 plus 6. So now on to IMDb. The total is an 8.5 out of 10 with 142,350 reviews. Episode 1, which is the end, is an 8 point, which is interesting. Is an
The way you said that was episode 1, which is the end.
That's the title of
I
it.
know. It was just the way you said it was funny.
8.3 out of 10. Episode 2, which is the target, is 8.2 out of 10. Episode 3, which is the head, is an 8.0 out of 10. Episode 4, which is the ghouls, is an 8.5 out of 10. Episode 5, which is the past, is 8.1 out of 10. Episode 6, which is the trap, is an 8.4 out of 10. Episode 7, which is the radio, is 8.4 out of 10. And episode 8, which is the beginning, is 9.0 out of 10. I never realized the names, and I never realized that it started with the end and ended with the beginning. Now, we get to move on to our ratings to see what we think about it. Jarrett.
9.25.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it. It's me. And boy, that's the exact same order we started with.
Yeah.
I give it a 9.3 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Ethan?
9.5.
Okay.
You fuck.
I kind of figured that was where you were going to go, but you never know.
I know a lot of people who like Fallout, and I like the games and stuff. I know a lot of people online that like Fallout. I don't think any of them that have seen it, I've seen say that they didn't like the show.
Mom watched it, and she said she loved it.
Yeah.
It's accessible for people that don't know anything about the universe.
You don't have to.
And it's got all these little Easter eggs for people.
Do you
that
think
do.
my mom would like it?
I think it's Western enough. She would probably like it. Like with the ghoul, I think she would like it.
I wonder if she would like it.
I think she would.
There's a lot of good cameos too. A lot.
Michael Emerson.
Is there anything else we need to talk about with it? The deafening silence tells me no.
I mean, it's great. Watch it. You should watch it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. If you've watched it, go watch it again.
I'm debating it. I really am.
Yeah.
Had there not been something else I had to watch today, I was going to watch it again today.
What did you have to watch today?
Wrestling.
Oh.
There was a pay-per-view because they're in France in the middle of the day. So I was like, I don't watch it. I've watched it recently enough.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it. I watched it recently enough, but at the same time, I could deal with watching it again.
There is somebody in the show that I really like in everything I see him in, but I never know their name because he's such a small-time character actor. Mm-hmm. But he's in, like, so many things, and it's... I can't pronounce his name. His last name. It's Matty... Cardarople, and that's why I can't remember his name because I can't say it.
Who's he play?
Huey. Yeah, you know the guys at the medicine bank that
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was in Series of Unfortunate Events.
So I'm thinking of the big dopey looking one.
Yeah.
Everything I see him in, he's fantastic. He's always playing the same. Like
I would call him Matty Cardarople. That's how I would say his name, Cardarople.
Cardarople. I don't know, but he's fantastic. I don't think he ever gets mentioned in anything, and he's always hilarious. He always brings a fun, kind of depressed vibe to everything.
Well, he plays the same character in every show I've ever seen him in.
I'm okay with that because it's hilarious.
He's the depressed stoner. Yeah, in every show I've ever seen him in.
Well, in like Series of Unfortunate Events, he's like a depressed transvestite.
Is he?
The whole show.
Oh yeah, he is.
He's always wearing women's clothing.
Yes, he's the one that they always put.
Which
in
I don't
dress.
know I don't know if he is in real life or not. That's not nothing to bear on it. He is fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what his name is in that show?
What?
Person of indeterminate gender.
Person of indeterminate gender. Fantastic.
Oh, I guess that will wrap up the Fallout episode. So, Fio, y fuerte, y formal. That's stuck in my head. I see it so often. I love it. It's not even the best one-liner from the show, but
it's not.
God damn it. Is it just not so good after he shoots Hank in the face?
It is. It's good.
All right. So use the links in the description. You can join our community Discord. You can find more episodes. You can find our Patreon where you can listen to the bullshit of us talking in between episodes and before we get started now.
Unless you're a commie.
What's that got to do with anything?
We're talking about Fallout.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
I
hate commies too.
Well, commies, I don't want commies. Yeah.
Listen, it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Did the Oppenheimer episode come out already?
Yeah.
This is a nice little through line of
Yeah. I think this will actually be the episode after Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Oh, well?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
It works.
It's his fault.
I think so. Let me double check. Oh, yeah, because it's out right now. It's literally I Am Become Death Oppenheimer review. It's like the first thing that shows up.
Yeah.
All right, so
this is Oppenheimer 2.
Oppenheimer.
This is Oppenheimer.
The sequel.
The Fallout. Yeah, that's what it is.
Oppenheimer 2, Electric
Oppenheimer.
Boogaloo.
Fall Oppenheimer.
That's enough.
All right, thanks for listening. We will catch you on the next one.
Deuce.
Adios.